I think that the previous administration did an adequate job. I don't think they did a great job. I think it's a situation where it can be definitely improved upon. And really, if you look at the backgrounds of the people that have been appointed to the new commission, we all are either currently entrepreneurs or we have a extremely diverse background in the healthcare industry. And we all are basically all former athletes in some way, shape, or form. And so what we really want to do is take and look at the future. There's really nothing that we can do about the past. All we can do is just try to drive initiatives to really help our athletes get to an entirely new level. Well, we were just appointed yesterday, or we were sworn in yesterday, and the big focus there is to look at what the previous administration has done. There were some things that they did very well. But there's also some rules and some regulations that need to be changed because I think it was a bit over-regulated as far as some of the regulations prohibit certain business entities to come into our state and allow to keep that revenue in the Commonwealth. Yeah, what we did is we went ahead and we have set up a new athletic, healthcare commission and really developed a medical committee that sits underneath of the commission, and we really defer to them on all medical regulations. And what we try to do is approach all facets of medicine regarding combat sports. So if you look at what we're trying to formulate, we'll probably be announcing the committee here, I would say sooner rather than later. But we're looking at an oral maxillofacial surgeon, an orthopedic hand surgeon, neurologist that currently sits on the commission, Dr. Seifert, and then also a cardiothoracic surgeon to look at cardiovascular health and how we can improve on that type of wellness plan as well. Well, the NFL has really done a great job over the last 2 years of bringing things to the forefront in regards to traumatic head injuries. And obviously, common sense will tell you that, boxing, wrestling, and mixed martial arts, there are some instances in that. One of the things we actually discussed yesterday was partnering with a company that's based from the Cleveland Clinic and looking at cognitive dissonance tests ringside for fighters to establish baseline tests to make sure that we're protecting those athletes. And so to answer your question, I would say in the past, you couldn't say if it's been on a rise or on a decline simply because there hasn't been measures in place really to judge the total impact of what's going on. So what our commission's really trying to do is, we're trying to establish a baseline and figure out how can we, A, prevent these types of injuries, and B, if they do occur, how can we minimize the impact of the injury? That all you can ask for as a business owner, whether you're a $1,000 corporation or a multi-billion-dollar corporation, you just want a fair and even playing field. And what we want is a consistent product. I hate to refer to people as products because what we're really trying to do is make the best environment possible for our athletes. Whether they're a professional wrestler, MMA, or boxing, or even kickboxing, we want all programs, whether a family were to spend $25 on an evening or $2,500 on an evening to go out and see a combat sport in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, we want that product to be consistent. So that goes as far as the regulations as well. No matter if you're the WWE or if you're NWA Appalachia, you're basically going to have the same exact playing field, same exact regulations, and the same exact guidelines to follow. That's the elephant in the room right now, and that's the thing that we have to evaluate the current policies and regulations that are in place, make a fair decision. And I can tell you that I've probably said this. I've probably done 12 interviews, which is really great to see since I've been sworn in. And my goal is to generate as much possible revenue for the Commonwealth of Kentucky as I possibly can. And if you say that the WWE and UFC and things like that are not part of that, or Impact Wrestling for that matter, are not in that equation, you'd be fooling yourself. And I had an opportunity last night to speak with four local promoters after our commission meeting, and what it was great to hear was that, I asked them, I said, if I can change one thing for you, if it's Christmas morning and you're a wrestling promoter, conversation with one gentleman, and he said, I want WrestleMania here. And that's a big step for us. I'm not saying I'm going to be able to get it done tomorrow, and the commission we can get it done tomorrow, but it's a goal that we're striving for. And we look at venues like that, and we have world class venues. And if you look at Rupp Arena, you brought up Rupp Arena, you brought up the Yum Center in Louisville. Pikeville's got a phenomenal center for it's got a more than adequate complex down there for a live televised show. You've got the Corbin Arena. You've got the Northern Kentucky Civic Center. You've got out in Paducah, you have Western Kentucky, out in Bowling Green, you have Western Kentucky. Paducah's got a great area. Richmond's got the Eastern Kentucky Gymnasium. I mean, there's so many great venues here that, we'd love to have the WWE in here and host them. But also, we want to make it the ability for our local promoters to reach that level as well. So, I think we want to start because by bringing in those larger tickets, it rejuvenates the interest in the sports, and I think that is our ultimate goal. We want to have something homegrown, but in the same aspect, we also want to be able to show our state off to the world. Absolutely, and I think one of the things out of the conversation came up yesterday was just economic development and planning, and that's something that is an initiative of my own. I want to get with the Kentucky Economic Development Cabinet and work with them on teaching local small business owners. And because if you really whittle down what a promoter is, it's a small business. It's a mom and pop oftentimes. I've met with two promoters last night that are husband and wife teams. And, I've got a big soft spot in my heart because I'm one of those people. And then also my parents own a small business up in Pennsylvania. And what I'd love to be able to do is sit with them and say, how can we optimize your business? How can we get you to the next level? And the biggest complaint was, we need help getting financing. And really, it was a situation, as I listened to their stories, it was more of a story of, if I give a man a fish, I feed him for a day. If I teach a man to fish, he eats for a lifetime. And when I was very poignant, and I asked them, I said, tell me about your business plan. And they gave me kind of blank stares. So what I want to do is help these people learn how to create great business plans that they can go out to a bank and receive the funding that they want and that they need in order to promote really, really good shows. And I think that's step one, is teaching the promoters and the boxing promoters, the wrestling promoters, MMA promoters, and kickboxing promoters in the state of Kentucky, teach them how to run their business efficiently, appropriately, and allow them to plan for not only today, tomorrow, but also where is their business going to be at in 5 years, how they goal set, how they set objectives, and how they take that thing to the next level. Well, I've said this a couple times, I'm an eternal optimist, and when I swing big. And so, what I would love to be able to see is us hosting a major event in each one of the four sections. And that's one thing that, one thing I would say is kickboxing is not getting a whole lot of light, but I'd love to see the rejuvenation of kickboxing in the state. I think it's a great art form. But I'd also like to be able to say, hey, wrestling, we've got, a major event here, whether it be, we're holding a Monday Night Raw or we're holding an Impact or a live TV show. There's no reason why we can't have live airings in both Lexington and Louisville on a regular basis. There's no reason why we can't be having something in Northern Kentucky and Pikeville, like we talked about, all the great venues that we have here. And in the same aspect, I want to make sure it's a free economy where the promoters, the local promoters here in the state of Kentucky, can really go out and thrive and not just have a side business out of it, but make it their full-time careers, so that we're driving real money to the state. Because the more money we make here within the commission, the more money we can reinvest back into youth programs and, help out teachers, help out local gyms, and really drive activity, wellness, and health through these great